cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I
What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network with me, Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and this is our Week 3 Active and Inactive Sunday show. I'll be going over some news and notes since our Friday show, and then, of course, going over actives and inactives at around 11:30. I'm also going to be answering any of your questions, any of your last start-sit questions leading up to the game. So if you have any, throw them in the chat, and if we have some time a little bit later, I'll be going over some DFS value picks. So first off the bat, just for people that aren't aware, Xavier Worthy is going to be out today against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, both are expected to play today, as well as Emeka Mbuka. But a bunch of reports have showed that they're going to limit his snaps or have his snaps monitored, so he could be limited today in what he does. DeAndre Swift is expected to play today. It's going to be a crappy day in Chicago. Already have, they have the cover on the field and everything. It's going to be a little wet, a little rainy. Top corners that are going to be out today, Jalen Johnson and Christian Gonzalez. Jalen Johnson might be out for a good half of the season, might be back near the end. Christian Gonzalez could be back next week, but those are just some things that you should be aware of. The biggest weather game today is going to be against the Colts and the Colts and the Titans. That game right now is going to have a bunch of rain from what the forecast looks like. I looked at it prior to getting on here because I wanted to, at least check out what the weather was going to be like. And I looked at the radar and I was like, oh, that does not look good. So make sure you guys are aware of that prior to. All right, let's get into your questions that you guys have already started throwing in the chat. Love having you guys here today. Mr. Magic, what's going on? He goes Jalen Warren or Keenan Allen, full PPR. That's a great question, man. I have currently Jalen Warren at 24 for running backs, which, is pretty good for a running back 2 roughly. And then I also have Keenan Allen today going against the Broncos. That's my only the only caveat that I have is it's the Broncos. They're a lot better in general against pass protection, or not pass good in their secondary with Surtain and all. They're going to be down Greenlaw, which isn't really a huge thing for the wide receiver, but and also varies the pass rush and things like that. I like Keenan Allen for this game, especially for right now for he's just been a top talent for Justin Herbert as of late. We really like the production that he has had so far this year. If you look at his particular stat line, he's averaging 8 targets per game and 12 catches out of the 17 targets that he's had for the last 2 weeks. 70% catch rate is really good so far. Also has 2 touchdowns on the season. I'm really liking that so far. I have no problem with you playing Keenan. He's going to have lesser coverage. I mean, my assumption is that they're going to most likely put guys like Patrick Surtain on a guy like Quentin Johnston. Ladd McConkey plays more slot. So, this could be a better game because Keenan also can play slot. So I'm okay with Keenan Allen today overall. Jalen Warren, it's just hard to gauge with what they're going to be doing in general. The Patriots have been okay against the run. They haven't been fantastic. Um, right now, I think I'm going to lean Keenan Allen. Especially Keenan Allen's more of a ceiling play for me. If you are currently leading and you need more of a floor play, Jalen is your guy. But if you're behind, you faced James Cook or you're facing or you face Josh Allen or something like that, and you need a little bit of a bump, Keenan's probably your guy. Jalen Warren's more of a floor play. He'll definitely do a lot better in that regard. So I'd prefer Keenan as the ceiling play, but I understand if you had to like pivot. It's hard for me to give you a straight answer on those two. They're very close, but I think I'm going to lean Keenan, but take what I just said into account as well. Will Hayes, what's going on, Will? Great to have you here today. He says Tyler Warren or Juwan Johnson, full PPR. Both have been killing it so far. Both are doing very well overall. I think they're 1 and 2, or no, they're 3 and 4, right? Or 4 and 5 in full PPR right now. Or no, 3 and 4. My bad. Or 3 and 5. Whatever. Top 5 each. So you're not in a bad spot. The game today, I mean, it is it favorable? Let's see. Going against Seahawks. Seahawks are banged up right now. I'm playing Juwan Johnson. Jordan Love is out. They have their other safety out as well. Their top rookie that they picked up. They also are going to be out Devin Witherspoon. Now, Witherspoon doesn't really matter much, but it does matter in the context of how they're going to play him. They might play him a little bit more wide. I like Juwan Johnson. The Tyler Warren, I don't mind him, of course. I mean, he is coming off an injury right now. Juwan Johnson is healthy. He's been active, 20 targets leading in tight ends. I mean, he has the second most with receptions. I'm going Juwan Johnson. Crazy to think that that's the case in week 3. What up, Sadness is Life? I love and hate that at the same time. What up? I have a real crappy bench. I'm starting Tyler Kraft at tight end, considering Goddard at flex, and only other option is Hunter or Algier. What do you think? So I'm not a big fan of playing 2 tight ends in a 1 flex type of situation. I understand the reasoning behind it. You're either getting a low end wide receiver 3 with Travis Hunter, or you're getting a backup in Tyler Algier. And to be fair, you don't know how that's going to go. You're playing the Panthers. If you want to use the narrative that they are going to be up significantly in this game, in the context that 43-point over under 4.5, they're favored by. Maybe they run it up a little bit on them, but this is a division matchup. I've told you guys 100 times. Division matchups are more, those games tend to be a little closer than most just because they know each other a little bit better and they know the tendencies of each team. So for me, I feel a little bit better. I would feel better about Algier, but it's definitely a floor play. Goddard gives you a little bit of help just because he's coming back healthy. He's going against the Rams. I don't mind the play, but also know that tight ends, they're not going to give you a ton. They're only going to be giving you, full PPR. They'll probably give you 10 at the most. And that's if they catch 5 passes. And that's, there's a lot that needs to happen. The Eagles have not been great at passing the ball this year in general. Yes, Goddard is 7 for 7 in his first week. Good for him. The rest of the passing game has seen nothing. They love to run the ball with Saquon. I don't blame them. I don't mind you playing Goddard here because you really just don't have any other option. So I'm gonna really go I guess I'm gonna go Goddard here. Philadelphia, what's going on, brother? Who do you got in the Giants Chiefs? I mean, I'm gonna say Giants, but don't feel really comfortable about it. I think it's going to be a tighter game than what people think it might be. At this point, Patrick Mahomes has been having a rough time in general. So I'm gonna lean the Giants, of course, but it could be a tight game. Will Hayes goes George Pickens or Keenan Allen. I'm leaning Keenan Allen for this game. I understand the idea of playing Pickens. I just like Keenan Allen a little better as a player and what he's used for. He's more of a possession receiver. He can catch the ball. Like I said, he's averaging about he's had 12 catches. Excuse me. 12 catches in 2 weeks, so 6 catches per game, roughly. And a 70% catch rate. I just don't like how Dallas is using Pickens. I mean, right now, 4 targets week 1, 9 in week 2, so they ramped him up a little bit. He has 8 receptions off those 13 targets. I just don't like, and he's also the deep guy. So I mean, if you're thinking that he's going to have an opportunity for a deep ball and you like that a little more, like I said, it's a ceiling play for me for Pickens comparatively to Allen, who's more of a floor play. If you're up, I'd say I would go, if you're up right now, go Allen. If you're needing some points, Pickens. They're pretty much, let me see. They're pretty much, well, I have Pickens ranked a little higher, but that's just more because of the matchup and everybody else in between them. I do have Allen at 39, but I want to lean Keenan Allen just because I feel a little bit better about his scenario. I might have to move him up in my rankings a little bit, but his match against Denver is what's keeping him a little bit lower. Right now Chicago has nobody. I just hate saying Pickens because I just don't agree that it's Pickens, but let's go with Pickens for the hell of it. Thanks, Picadelphia. He says, have a great show. Also, my man. Hey, man. Always a pleasure. One of the rare Philly fans that I can get along with. Sadness's life goes Jalen Warren or Chuba Hubbard. I think I'm going to lean Chuba Hubbard. It's hard when Warren has 3 other guys that can be, thrown in there. Rico Dowdle has really been nothing lately. I'd rather have all the touches comparatively to some in this case. So I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard for me, even in full PPR. He's still, used in the passing game. So I'm going to go Hubbard. Perry Williams, what's up, brother? Great to have you here today. He says, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. So, yes, please make sure, everybody, if you're new to the show, please make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show. Just because, of course, we want you guys to subscribe and come back, right? So make sure you guys are liking and subscribing if you haven't already. All right. Let's get to Sadness is Life, going Love or Baker Mayfield, full PPR. I think I'm going to go. I want to go Baker. They're in their creamsicle jerseys today. I get the best way to face the Browns is to throw on them. They're favored by, both games are favored by at least 6. So that doesn't really, that's not a factor for me. I like Mayfield better as a quarterback and generally has better weapons. I'm going Mayfield. And the full PPR doesn't really matter for my quarterback here. Worm, what's going on, brother? Great to have you. Do you trust Hawk with Wentz? I don't know. Do you trust Hawk with Wentz? I trust him a little bit comparatively. He's a vet. He knows who to look to, knows who to check down to. Hawk is that guy. If right now, if the Bengals are smart, they're going to keep double coverage on, JJ, and then they're going to have to check down to Hawkinson. They've really tried to get him more involved. So I think I can trust him. Not sure how far, as far as I can throw him, and unfortunately not too far for that. I have him ranked 9th right now. Matchup isn't is okay, but not great. Perry goes, in your opinion at the moment, would you rather start Dak or Russ? Or Dart or Russ? I don't think Russ has looked bad. You can't start Dart. He's not going to be there yet. Oh, and if you're meaning like in real life football, I'm okay with Russ for now. I would rather wait for Jackson Dart to start. I'd rather have him go in later in the season. Yeah, I know we've lost 2. I get it. He could be back as week 4. What I keep hearing. If we lose this one, it's going to be a big, push for Dart. And I'm like, you know what? Sure, but I would prefer to wait if I could. Like, I want him to get as much, tutelage behind Russ and get to see the game and get to understand it. Yeah, you have to also give him time out there, so he can learn what's going on. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I think we'll get the same result either way. I think that Dart looked good in his debuts in preseason, but that's preseason. A little different. Patrick goes, yo, what up? Cup or Higgins? Nervous about the QB in Cincinnati. I'm 0-2 in all 3 leagues. Aaron Jones and McCarthy screwed me last week. Should left Drake May in. If you have Drake May, I'd be playing Drake May this week, especially. I do like the game today that he has. Who are they facing again? The Steelers. I like the matchup for him overall. So I have him I think I have him ranked pretty high. For me. I have him Yeah, I have him at 6 today. So I mean, he's definitely somebody that I'm comfortable playing Drake May. It's gonna be Higgins for me over Cup. Higgins, I trust a little more with Browning. Browning is not a horrible choice for them. It's one of those scenarios that he's 4-3 in his 7 starts that he had in Cincy. He is a comparable he's a good quarterback. So I'm okay with playing Higgins today over Cup. Cup is only recently starting to get a little bit more involved. Going against the Saints, it's not a horrible matchup for him. The only thing that I would actually, nope, I'm going to change my answer. It's going to be, it's going to be Cup actually. JSN is currently out, not out. He is expected to play with an illness currently. He plays at 4:00. That's the only caveat. You have Cup if you wanted to change it out, so you don't have to, change it up right away. He's expected to play. He had flu-like symptoms, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be perfect for the game. They might lean on Cup a little bit to take some pressure off of him. They're also going to be running the ball a little bit with Kenny Walker because Zach Charbonnet is out. So at this point, I don't hate Cup for this matchup. Higgins is the better player. Cup is the better situation. So I'd lean probably Cup just because of the JSN thing, but Higgins isn't in a bad spot because of his QB. So I'll just put it that way. I'm going to lean Cup, though. Bonus Diaz, Mike. What's going on, Marcos? Great to have you here today, my friend. Always a pleasure. We have Quinton Junkins, Mario Hampton, or Tyler Warren, full PPR. Gross for all. Gross on all accounts. Like I told you guys before, the Tennessee game is going to be a little wet and wild. There's a big front that came through. I don't know if it's going to hit. I think it's supposed to hit second half of game time, but from what it looked like it was the first half. So it's definitely going to be a little wet, a little gross outdoors for that game. I don't mind Warren. I don't think Hampton I can play out of these 3. Just because of the Broncos. Broncos are pretty good overall. They haven't been, fantastic, stopping the run like Cleveland has. But Junkins, though, I don't mind, but Packers are pretty good against the run in general. He is getting the start. They haven't been using anybody else. They're ramping him up as well, so he could be a lot more involved than he was last week. Was a reasonable play last week. I don't like telling people to start a tight end in their flex. It's just not going to help you all the time. If there's a way to put Warren in your tight end spot, I would prefer to do that for this, this team. I'd probably lean Junkins just because I'd rather be safe with a running back than see what happens with Warren. And especially coming off injury. Yeah, he's off the injury report, but he is still injured. So I would just be a little bit wary of that at this point. Should be having some actives and inactives come through in just a minute. So just give me a few seconds. Just want to be ready for those. So give me 1 second so that I'm all ready to go for that. I want to make sure you guys have everything you need for this game, but I'm going to keep asking your questions. Perry goes, should I start Indiana Jones over Hurts? I'm 0-2 and starting Warren Pittman for the stack. I don't care too much about stacks for this. The game against the Rams is still going to be a decent one, 45.5 point over under, 3.5 they're favored by. I like Danny, but you could see the old Danny come right back. They are currently, they went from 3.5 favorites to 5. Doesn't usually jump that much unless there's a big injury on the Colts, which I don't remember there being one. I think I'm going to roll with Hurts. It's hard for me to say to start a guy like Jones over Hurts. It hurts. I can't do it yet. I know you're 0-2. It's hard for me to tell you not to, man. I'm just gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna go with Hurts. Better offense, better grouping. I know they're both 2-0. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Hurts, man. And I get the stack, but it's not necessary for me. At least this much. Sadness's life goes Keenan Allen or Flowers. It's going to be Flowers. Better matchup, better situation. Going against the Lions, 53 point over under. I love the amount of points in this game to be able to get. Detroit is banged up on the outside with the secondary. They're never really that good in against the pass. They're going to have to change the way they play. In general, all teams know stop the run. Pass. So in this case, I think Flowers should have a decent game. Keenan Allen's solid, but you're not splitting hairs with these two. I'm pretty sure. I definitely have Flowers ranked a lot higher than I have Flowers ranked a lot higher than Keenan Allen. Allen's at 39, Flowers at like 8. Yeah, that's a no brainer for me. Flowers. Marcos, pick one. Mbuka, Travion Henderson, or Jameson Williams, full PPR. Nice. I like those. I understand the inclination to want to play a guy like Travion Henderson. I like his scenario. He's currently best matchup for him is today. Going against the Steelers, they're at home. I feel a lot better about Henderson than I have in the last few weeks. Mbuka, I like a ton. Just as a normal everyday situation, but he's hurt. I don't want to take the risk. I actually sat Mbuka in a league that I wanted to play him in, just because I like Mbuka in general. I think I'm going to go Henderson for this one as a floor play. If you need a ceiling play, JMO is the guy because of the exact same reason that I told you before with the 53 point over under. I kind of want anyone I can in that game. Just because it's Ravens are only favored by 4.5. When you're favored by 4.5 and the point spread is 53, that's huge. That's a huge matchup that I want to be a part of. He's definitely a ceiling play for me. They're going to try to get him actively involved as much as they can. They're going to have to keep Goff up and being able to throw the ball to kind of take a little pressure off the run because they're going to be trying to stuff the box as much as possible. But Henderson is definitely the floor play if you're currently up with, James Cook or whoever you might have played on or played with on or against. So I like Henderson a little bit more, but I think JMO is probably your best bet. So I'm going to go JMO. I'm stuck with the Rams defense and the Ravens defense. Which would you start? I don't think I'm going to be starting the Ravens, and that's sad. But it's just because the points could go out of control. Just got some news. Juwan Jennings is inactive today. That's huge for Ricky Purcell. So Juwan Jennings is out today, so just be aware of that. Maybe my good friend who I'm facing today is not realizing that he has. Oh, he didn't play him. Damn, thought he would play him today. That's okay. Sorry, Scanlon. Just because I know him well enough to know that he might have played somebody like that. But right now, Juwan Jennings is out, so be aware. So Marcos, I'd probably play the Rams over the Ravens just because of the point spread. Rams are only underdogs by 3.5. If you can find a better team to get, like the Bucks, I would be grabbing the Bucks if I can. I would be trying to grab even the Seahawks if they're available. But Bucks probably are more likely available for, this game. So I would probably be trying to grab them over these two. Just don't like the Ravens situation for this one because it could go out of control. So we don't want that, right? Or at least I don't think we do. Sadness goes Tyler Algier or Benson. I know my running backs are junk. Hubbard is my RB1. Ew, gross. Oh, and then you just kind of 0 RB'd it all the way to the end there. I'd lean Algier. I don't trust Benson yet. He hasn't shown me enough to really get me excited to play him. Going against 49ers, they're underdogs by 2. I'm gonna stick with Algier. He's just better. And they run the ball a ton. What up, Kendall? What up, Classic? Happy Sunday, brother. What's going on, man? Great to have you here today. Marcos goes Drake May or Kyle Murray. Gross. I'm still going to play Drake May today against the Steelers. Have a really good feeling about him today. Look at this. Help him when he's not here. Please like and subscribe to the stream and consider subscribing if you haven't already. So please make sure you guys are doing that if you haven't already. Really appreciate the help in one way or another. So thank you guys. Much appreciated. All right. Marcos goes pick 1. Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason, or J.K. Dobbins full PPR. See, I saw this one in the chat in our Discord. For those that aren't in our Discord, please make sure you guys check it out. I have the link below for you guys. Great community, great group of people in general. Our Discord is always running. I do injury updates throughout the week. Make sure you guys have the first, you guys get the information first. I try to beat Sleeper as much as I can. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, but I do my best to beat them in getting you the news first. So it's hard for me to not tell you to play Josh Jacobs today. He's going against Cleveland. They're one of the best teams against the run so far. They have done a fantastic job at stopping guys like Derrick Henry. I can't realistically, I can't tell you to sit Josh Jacobs. I would probably be paying Jacobs, but they could change their whole narrative, and then you're pretty much, you're out on your ass. Jordan Mason is not a bad pick today. I have no problem playing a guy like Jordan Mason. I don't know if I'd play him over Jacobs, though. I'm just so in between on these two, especially with their matchup and all. I have Jacobs ranked probably higher. Let me see where I got Jacobs. I have Josh Jacobs at 14 currently. I have Jordan Mason at 17. I don't think, right now they're both RB2s. I think I could lean Jordan Mason, you could probably give me some type of thing to make me lean that way. There is no one behind him that you're worried about. Cam Akers, ooh, Ty Chandler, ooh, like I get it. No one's behind Jacobs either. So you have two guys that are very good at running the ball. I think JK is out of the equation. I know it's full PPR. I know they're going against the Chargers, but I can't find a scenario that I would play them over these two. Jacobs is a little bit more involved in the passing game than Jordan Mason is. They're going to probably only be using Jordan Mason in more short yardage and first, second down, maybe in pass pro, but never, they don't really throw him the ball. Do I need to flip a coin here? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jordan Mason, and it's really just because of the matchup. I can't get the 2 points for Henry out of my head right now. Just can't. JSN or Jacoby Myers there from Sadness is Life. Man, you must be in tough spots having to make that decision. Let me get you guys some actives and inactives. Don't worry there, Sadness. I will be answering your questions. I just want to make sure you guys have actives and inactives. They're all just pouring into my feed right now. No one really crazy for the Colts game. Looks like Warren is active, which is a good thing. Jaden Daniels is out, as we already kind of know. Noah Brown is out as well, and John Bates is out. For those that care, John Bates is a tight end, so he's involved. Zach Ertz could be a good play today. No one of note for the Jaguars. Josh Williams, no one cares. Tristan Morph, we already knew about. We already knew about Godwin. Jack Conklin is going to be out for the Browns. That's bad for the right tackle. Shador is going to be a third QB. Mbuka is active today. He was limited with his groin or hip, so he will be playing today. It looks like they brought up Tez Johnson as well from their practice squad. Just means that he'll be available to play if they need it. Tucker Kraft is active today, so he will be playing this afternoon. So just be aware of that. Jets have a good amount of defensive players out today. Be aware of that. Tony Adams is out today. Jermaine Johnson is out today. One of their linemen is out today. Just be aware of that. JJ McCarthy, Ryan Kelly's out today. Ooh, that sucks for their O-line. Harrison Smith is available, which is good for the Vikings defense. Raheem Mostert is inactive today. That keeps Genty happy. All right. Don't see anything crazy yet. Everything seems to be status quo from what we already kind of knew, so that's good. All right. So, just to give you some perspective for this one, okay? JSN, of course, is sick. Like, he's coming in with flu-like symptoms. Could he be limited in his play? Of course. He's a 4:00 game, I believe, so you won't know about him until later. Jacoby's in the same. No, Jacoby's East, right? Isn't he East today? Yeah, against the Commanders, 1:00. So I like Jacoby a lot. We talked about him on the stream on Friday. This guy has been heavily involved for the Raiders, especially with Brock Bowers being a little banged up. 10 and 12 targets per game. So he's averaging roughly 11 targets per game, which is huge. Target's not as great, 63% catch rate. But he's catching 14 of those passes, 7 catches roughly per week. That's not a bad deal. I like it. So in this particular case, I feel a little better if you had to play Myers, but you have to make that decision now. I don't know how I feel about JSN just yet. I mean, we don't know. He had flu-like symptoms as of yesterday. Could he be good today? Or, could they, who knows how he's going to feel this morning. We won't know until closer to game time. They're already down Zach Charbonnet. A lot of different factors to involve for the JSN part of it. At this point, I might feel a little bit more comfortable playing Jacoby Myers just because of that, but I'd feel a lot better about it than most scenarios just because of 7 catches per game, 11 targets per or 12, 11 targets on average. I'd feel okay about that. Considering JSN, in his few weeks, I mean, he had roughly the same type of numbers, getting 11 and a half targets per game, 17 receptions overall over 23. I mean, he has a higher pass rate, higher catch rate. I would prefer to play JSN, but I'd be okay if you were unsure of his availability. My thing is if you're playing JSN, have a backup. He should be in your full flex spot. He should be available for you to, switch out with a running back or wide receiver. And I would be ready for that scenario if you go with JSN as your option. So be ready to have a whole, everything in place for him. So I would go one of those two. But like I said, I'm going to lean JSN if he's playing, but that's the caveat, if. So I would have a backup for him, but I have no problem playing Myers if you feel a little bit, unsure about JSN. But you have to make that decision soon. Perry goes flex 3, Kraft, Hawk, Pittman, Ertz, Henderson. Henderson is a complete fade this week, I'd assume. He's not. The matchup for me is huge going against the Steelers, letting up the most against running backs, most fantasy points against running backs. Once you're that guy in the first 2 weeks, it kind of makes it really really fun. I do like Stevenson this week. I'm enjoying what he's been doing as a whole. He's currently running back 19 on the the last 2 weeks. They are giving Henderson the ball, 8 for 34 or 8 for 37 with 4 yards per carry, 4.6 yards a carry is good. Not what people wanted. They want a little more, of course. Everybody wants more. They are trying to get him more involved in the passing game, but 8 targets, 8 receptions the last few weeks. I mean, that's not bad at all. I feel a little bit more comfortable with him this week than I would on most weeks just because of the matchup. So I don't mind Henderson as one of your options for the 3 that you have to play with here. Yeah, he had 6. Oh, okay. So 6 for 2 or 6 and 2. And then he caught all 8. So he was, high catch rate for those games. So I'm going to go Henderson for sure. Kraft is another one. The fact that you can flex Kraft, good for you. And then it's really between Ertz, Pittman, and Hawkinson. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of playing tight ends. Ertz isn't a bad play. He will be involved with Mariota. They've known each other for a while. They were I believe, I want to say that they knew each other when they were in Philly together. I could be wrong, but it doesn't really matter. They know each other. They're both seasoned vets. They know how to get open for one another. Pittman, I don't mind today, but the problem is the actual game itself. They're favored by 5. There's going to be crappy weather in this game. I'm not saying that it fully affects the game, but it could. It could be a more run-heavy game comparatively to throwing the ball. You could probably see Daniel Jones, being a little bit, throwing it less just because of that. I'd probably, if I'm going to lean to a tight end for that flex, Ertz feels a little bit safer. Hawkinson is probably the more ceiling play, I guess you would want to say. Ertz is kind of touchdown dependent. He's had 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks, so it makes him a little bit, it makes me feel a little bit better about him. But I mean, let's look. He's had 5 targets, 8 targets, averaging 6 per game, has 9 catches off 13. Not a bad catch rate overall. Jesse Bates is out. I don't hate those numbers, but if I'm going to compare him to Hawk, who currently, let's see, they both have, well, no, Ertz has more. I'm going to go Ertz. So Kraft, Henderson, and Ertz. I can't find a way to play the other two. Sadness is life goes T. Higgins or Ridley. T. Higgins. Kenny Moore has been very good at stopping wide receivers. Pick one for Marcos. He goes full PPR. Davante Adams, Jameson Williams, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers. So this is really, for me, the real conversation is Davante Adams or Jacoby Myers. Really is. I know that's sad to say, but it really is. DJ Moore has been inconsistent. Bland is out, which is good. Helps DJ Moore a little bit, even though they're going to have Diggs probably on Rome, which would be my guess. So let me put this in my trusted thing right here. So Adams currently averaging 10 targets a game, 10 receptions out of 21 total targets, 47% catch rate. That's not fantastic. But it's roughly around what you are seeing for Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers has more catches on the year. They are definitely safer plays. Much safer plays. So for me, Davante Adams, I just like the quarterback scenario a little bit better for him with Stafford. The matchup against the Eagles is tough, but they're going to be down and needing to throw the ball. Jameson and DJ Moore, I just can't play yet. JMO is definitely a ceiling play, so this is one of those scenarios where if you're really down, I'm playing JMO. But it's hard for me to tell you to play those guys above guys like Davante Adams and Myers. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. I definitely got to move up Purcell a little bit. I just noticed that in my rankings, so he will be moved up accordingly. Let me see. And I believe, let's go to wide receivers. I have DJ Moore at 28, JMO at 30, Adams at 13 currently, and Myers at where is Myers? He's hiding on here somewhere. All these names blend together. I wish they had a better way to be able to see it. There he is, 32. Yeah. So I have Myers ranked a little bit lower than most of these guys. Adam is really higher ranked for me. So I'm going to go with Davante Adams for your pick. If you're going to pick one of these guys, he's definitely the safer play. So I like Davante. Flex one, it's disgusting. Oh my God. Oh, I'm reading all these. Calvin Austin, Pacheco, Tootin, Corum, Goddard, or Sanders. Good old Javonte Sanders. That is gross. I am sorry for you, my friend. I'm gonna go Pacheco. You can run against the Giants. Renfro isn't bad. If it's full PPR, I'd be a little bit more inclined to maybe go with Renfro. But I do like Pacheco in the game against the Giants. Pacheco, I mean, you can run against the Giants. The Giants they have not been as good as what I would like in most scenarios. So I'm gonna go Isaiah Pacheco out of this group. It's gross. No one likes it, but I do think that he could be okay against the Giants. If anything, this could be his quote unquote breakout game where he, does a little bit better. Believe me, I know how gross it is being, right now running back 15 on the year, or sorry, running back 52 on the year. I apologize for that mix-up. Tootin is a little bit more ahead of him. But Pacheco's had more opportunity with 15 attempts. Tootin's just done more with it and has 1 touchdown above him. So, I'm gonna lean Pacheco. I just like him a little bit better. Corum 1 week and they were up. Goddard just don't trust. I don't trust tight ends in my flex spot. Calvin Austin, it's really between Renfro and Pacheco. If it's full PPR, I'm going to go Renfro. If it's anything less than half or anything half or less, I'm probably going to go Pacheco. So keep that in mind. Marcos goes Keenan Allen or Lad McConkey. Who gets the Surtain treatment? Keenan Allen will have more of the Surtain treatment comparatively to McConkey. McConkey will have a little bit, but not much. They don't really put Patrick Surtain in the slot. He's more outside, and they don't shadow, but they do put him where they need him. So, but he normally plays outside. They have a much lesser guy. I forget his name off the top of my head. I know that they can put Ben Jones in for slot corner here and there. He's more of a nickel safety. But the way that they were able to play they have a ton of safeties that they can use because Ben Jones can do it. Hufunga is in there. They have a lot of options that they can use. But overall, I think Keenan Allen sees more Surtain than Lad McConkey. But Lad has been underutilized the last few weeks. I mean, if you look at their numbers so far this year, it's pretty incredible to see what's been happening out in LA. 9 targets first game, 5 targets the second game, 11 catches altogether on 14 targets. That's not a horrible catch rate, but he hasn't really done much with those. He doesn't really get a ton of yak, and it really hasn't been helpful. Guys like Quentin Johnston is a little bit more involved, and Keenan Allen just has more receptions because he's more of a possession receiver. I think you'll see Surtain on Allen more, but I don't think that truly affects him. I think they're going to put him on Johnston a little bit more just because he's more of the X and on the outside. Flex 1, Juwan Johnson, Pittman, Sutton, or Franklin. Juwan Johnson. If you're able to flex Juwan Johnson, good for you. He's been actively involved. I'm going Johnson. Easy one for me. Ray Michael got on for my son. Thanks, man. His first year, Mariota or Russ. It's Russ, and it's not even close for me. Russ is going to have a rough day. Their D-line is much better than the Giants. Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, man. Karlaftis is that dude. He is a fantastic D end, very underrated, but very good. People don't really give him the credit that's due. I think he's going to be great. They're going to do their best to try to stuff the run because we're going to try to run it to keep the ball, try to keep Mahomes off the field. I think that's going to be the main, thing that you see. Keeping Mahomes off the field is always what you want, but it doesn't mean you're always going to get it. I think at this point, I'm going to just trust Russ to do what he needs to do. They're favored right now. Kansas City's favored by 6. You gotta think that they're going to be behind in most of this game. They're going to have to throw it. It might not be the best game, but I feel better about that than against the Raiders in general. I don't like Mariota. He has better legs maybe, but that's about it. He's not a passer. He's not a guy that's going to distribute the ball that much. If he does, good for him. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. Like I just can't see a world where he is better than Russ this week. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Sorry, getting things delivered and seeing my camera go off while I'm down here is never fun while my wife sleeps. Or as she's awake, she texts me. So yeah, I'm gonna go Russ, man. Gotta go Russ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys throw those questions in there in that chat if you haven't already. For those that haven't, make sure you guys, if you don't have Underdog right now, you should. Underdog is one of the best out there for pick'em. They also, they have their best balls, of course, that you can be a part of. Those are usually in the off season. They do like a revamp in the middle of the year, like week 6. I think they do like a re-one. But make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Get Right. They will help you at checkout with this new consumers deposit and get up to $1,000 in a bonus cash. So make sure you guys are using that as of right now. Oh no, let's do this one. Sorry, that was last year's. I apologize. New customers, pay 5, get 50. So if you put in 5, you will get 50 for new customers. So make sure you guys are using that today. They're using this gimme pick if you are doing your pick'em. Remember, you can pick higher or lower when it comes to certain stats. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy, one of the best out there. Really enjoy it. Also, for those that, I know we're in season currently, but a lot of people start thinking about it. I did this last year where I started thinking of a trophy to have. My trophy's upstairs, but I was thinking of having a trophy. I'm like, come on, let's figure it out. And you know what? Over here at TrophySmack.com, they have some wonderful gifts for you guys. They have this custom ring you can make. You can have the good old Kirk Cousins chain. You also have the belt, so you guys can use that belt as well. One of their best, most popular items. You can customize that belt for your league. They also have customizable trophies as well. Love all the stuff that they have there. Make sure you guys use promo code Get Right at checkout, and they will make sure to help you guys out. All righty. So Ray goes pick 2. Darnell Mooney, Purcell, Wandell, full. Oh, Purcell and Wandell. Don't even have to think twice about that one. Juwan Jennings is out. Wandell is just good. I think they're going to have to lean on him. I think that the game plan for the Chiefs is rush Russell, keep him on his toes, take away Neighbors, which will then open up Wandell. This is the game you want Wandell in if you can. I think he'll be open often and always available one way or another. Mooney, I can't trust yet. It's a great matchup against the Panthers. Just don't trust him yet. He's only had one game back. They didn't really throw it to him. They're more of a run team lately. I love Penix as the quarterback. I just think that they clearly know who their best weapon is, and they're going to use him. I'm going to go Purcell because of Juwan Jennings being out. I like Mac Jones as a whole. Will Johnson is out today, so Will Johnson being out is huge for Purcell. Will Johnson has done well in the last few games to shut down guys. He's out. I'm leaning heavily on Purcell today. He's going to go higher in my rankings as before I close it out. Purcell and Wandell for sure. Marcos goes, Rodgers or Geno? Gross. Oh, man, that is gross. Let's look at these numbers. Pitt favored by 1.5. Commanders by 3. If I'm looking strictly at the numbers, I'm going to probably lean Geno, and it's really just because they're going to have to fight to come back. Steelers are going to have to fight to stay in it. Both are around the same point spread. Patriots are an okay defense. Commanders are going to be tired. Mariota's not going to be. I'm going to go Geno. It's gross. Definitely gross, but I'm going to go Geno. I think I have Geno. Let me see. Yeah, I have Geno at 17. I'm going Geno. And he gets more with his legs in general. Make sure you guys are throwing those questions in the chat. I'm going to be here for at least another 5 minutes, but I'm also going to be staying as long as you guys have questions. If you don't have questions, I'm going to wrap it up so that I can get my stuff done around my house, make my wife happy, and make myself happy, of course, because I got to get shit done. So make sure you guys are doing that. Make sure if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe to the show. We really do appreciate it if you haven't already. If you guys have questions on Twitter or whatever, please throw them in the chat too. Always here to answer your questions anytime you guys want. I have the below in the ticker is our show, schedule, basically what we're going to be doing for the rest of the season. For those that haven't been here, those that are new to the show, this is our season lineup. Monday nights, we do waiver ads and overreactions. That's with good old Frank over there. He will be doing those on Monday night, Tuesday night if you're on the East Coast. Tuesday, Phil with the Extra Point is going to be doing a lot of dynasty content for you guys to help you guys out with your particular dynasty teams on Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Wednesday nights, we have our roster management, same time as Monday night, to get you guys ready for those Thursday night games, getting those buy-sell targets ready for you. Then Friday, we do our Q&A start sit Q&A with me and Kendall. We get you guys ready for the next week. And then, of course, me on Sunday mornings to help you guys out. So make sure you guys are checking us out on all those other shows. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, I hope you guys are liking and subscribing to all of our shows. I don't have the most recent one. Well, I'll add Tycoon in here just for fun. Make sure you guys are checking out the Fantasy Football Tavern as well as the Extra Point. Also throw our guy Tycoon here in the Fantasy Boardroom a subscribe as well if you haven't already. But make sure you guys are subscribing to the other two. Really do appreciate that. Also, make sure you guys check out Cody and Zach at the Sweet Life podcast. They go on every Saturday and throw, I think Saturday, they throw you guys a little bit of football content on the weekend. All right. Getting really close to game time. We got an hour left until you got to set those lineups. So please throw those questions in the chat if you haven't already. We got tons of time to answer questions, but I'm here for you guys. So I'm here as long as you guys want me to answer anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting here rambling off stuff, and I don't think people want to hear me talk for another hour. My friends don't even like having me talk for 2 minutes, so I can only imagine how much you guys want to hear me talk for an hour. We got news that Xavier Legette is going to be out today. So that question that we had before about Hunter Renfrow, Perry. Yeah, I see Perry in there. It's Perry with that flex option with Pacheco and Renfrow and whoever. You might want to throw in Hunter Renfrow. So hopefully you're still listening. I got 45 listening currently. So want to make sure that we have that known. So Perry, start Hunter Renfrow. Really like that scenario a little bit more. No other actives and inactives that I missed. Just had a few that I'm just trying to go through. Got a lot. I get a lot of notifications around that time. Look who it is, Joe Ortiz. What's going on, man? Great to have you here today, man. Always a pleasure. Morning, Mike. How's everything going there, Joe? Marcos goes Booty or Mike Evans. I'm going to have Mike Evans ranked much higher. Much higher. So it's one of those scenarios where I have a guy ranked much higher because of who he is. He's 21st in my list. I have him ranked much higher than a guy than Booty. Booty is 44 out of my particular rankings. But let's look at what they've done the last few weeks in comparison. So just looking at the numbers, he had 1 target last week. That ain't good, Booty. 8 targets the week before. I think he has 2 touchdowns on the year, if memory serves me right. Or no, he's got 1 touchdown on the year from last day. He's got 7 catches off of the 9 total targets. Not a bad catch rate. Mike Evans, 8 and 11, averaging 9 targets a game. 10 receptions off of 19 targets. Lower catch rate, but overall a better performance. No touchdown so far. Don't overthink it. It's Mike Evans. Play Mike Evans, even if and especially in full PPR. Let's go, Mike Evans. Going against the Jets. I understand Sauce Gardner. Sauce is a very good corner. I wouldn't stress too much about that. They're gonna find ways to get him open. I don't believe Sauce is one that follows. So they're going to just try to keep Evans on the other side and, maybe have Mbuka on him or something like that. But this is the last week you could probably play Mbuka with confidence. They currently are having Chris Godwin most likely coming back next week. So be aware for those Mbuka owners. He will be back next week. Not saying that Chris Godwin or that Mbuka won't be involved, but we'll have to wait and see. It's definitely going to be a change, but they're going to limit his snaps today. Remember that for Mbuka. They're probably going to limit and monitor his snaps, seeing how he feels with the groin and hip injury. If you've ever had tightness or soreness in your hip or your groin area, it's not fun. It's definitely a hard injury to. It's definitely a hard injury to treat. And it's one of the harder things to be able to not re-aggravate, especially for a wide receiver who tends to, jump and fall and all these different things. So I would just be a little wary about that today. But Mike Evans is the guy for sure out of that group. All righty. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, beautiful Sunday morning. For those that are on the East Coast, having a really beautiful day out here on Long Island. Anytime you can walk out of your house and it's in the 60s, it makes you feel good. Definitely means fall's around the corner. I can't wait. Love my fall. Enjoy fall. Starts getting cooler. Starts, get to put on the pants. Love putting on pants. Love putting on my sweatpants and just kind of chilling. So really can't wait for the fall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not seeing a ton of questions in the chat. I don't want to stay here any longer than, you guys might want me to be here. I want to be here with, you guys. I want to answer your questions. So for those that are out there, I'm going to give you guys like 5 more minutes, if that, and give you guys a chance to throw questions in the chat so that I can answer them right before we leave. But make sure, like I said, you guys are checking out Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys are using promo code GetRight, and they will give you this wonderful. Oh, not that one. Did it twice. Play 5, get 5. So they will help you with those, getting $50 in bonus funds. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy using promo code GetRight. Also, for those that are doing Pick'em, they will do a free gimme pick for Saquon Barkley 0 for 0. Always a great time. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcast with the Sweet Life, Cody and Zach. They're here every week putting out some fantasy content for you guys. Also, check out these guys over, good old Kendall, who's with me every Friday, and Phil every Tuesday. And we also have the fantasy boardroom. I'm just throwing it out there because I forgot to change the thumbnail. But make sure you guys check him out. He's always fun. Tycoon is taking a little bit of a break, but it's okay. What else do we got going on? Those are the only real things. Like I said, check us out on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday. Taking off Thursday and Saturday. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the videos. We always enjoy that. Please leave comments as well. We always want to have that algorithm push us up a little bit. We want to make sure we get more wonderful, interesting people here. I hope everybody has a wonderful week 3. I think I'm going to start up. Look at this. Rafi in the house, adding to the fun. Russell or Browning? Great question. I think I'm going to go Browning. I like his weapons a little bit more. I like the scenario a little bit better. They're in a dome. It's just they're going against a decent defense. I think I'm going to go Browning here. you can't go wrong having guys like Chase and Higgins on your team. Yes, Russ has Neighbors and Wandell and all that, but I feel a little bit better about Browning. I probably have Browning. Let's see where I have Browning. I have Browning ranked a little higher than Russ. I have Browning at 19, Russ at 20, 22 actually. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jake Browning here. There, Rafi. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see any other questions coming through. I think I'm going to start wrapping things up now, just so I can start getting ready for the game. I hope everybody has a wonderful week 3, unless you're facing me. I'll see you guys next Friday. Make sure to check us out on Monday night. We're going to be here Monday night with waiver ads and so on. So make sure you guys check that, check out that show either on Monday night or right after. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Friday. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week 3. Peace.
White fantasy is the play. Marking nothing but I tune every Friday. Strategies provided.